Ladies and gents, thank you for tuning in on a special occasion. Sorry we couldn't make our normal time slot for the Thursday night last night. Tim and I had to go do some scouting for our teams in general. I gave the okay tomorrow for the Gettleman hire, so I'm glad they approved of it. Spoonie, what were you doing last night?
I had to slow down the talks about getting rid of Dez Bryant. I had to slow down the trade talks about getting rid of Dez Bryant. Some of you Cowboys fans out there, listen, be patient, okay? It was a lot of problems going on with the Cowboys. It's not just Dez Bryant fault. It was starting from the management with the Ezekiel Elliott 6-game suspension, going straight on down. So you know what we're going to do? Yeah. We're going to try to win out in Philadelphia, win this game, go out in a positive note into the offseason, and do what we got to do. Let's chill out for a while. I have my anger. I'm done. I advise y'all to do the same thing as well.
All right, Tim, and I did have the playoff picture ready for these folks just to kind of give them a synopsis of what's going down for the last week as we kind of get, we got one more week, fella. There's going to be people sitting their players, and we don't know what the hell's going on. So let's just run this down real quick, try to refresh our memories out there. This is what's going on currently. We got the division leaders over there in the AFC. Let me move this over a little bit for you guys. There we go. We got the Patriots, obviously. Who the hell's Patriots in the AFC East. We got the Steelers leading the North, the Jags in the South, and the Chiefs in the West currently. So the wild card leaders right now for the AFC is going to be your Baltimore Ravens and Tennessee Titans. Still in the hunt with a little bit of help they're looking for on Sunday is going to be your Los Angeles Chargers and Buffalo Bills. On the NFC side, we got your Philadelphia Eagles trying to do what they can with Nick Foles and that home field advantage now. And then we got the Minnesota Vikings looking strong in the North. We got the Rams coming out of the West. And we got those Saints at 11-4. And then with the wild card, right now is panned out as the Carolina Panthers sitting at 11-4 and the Atlanta Falcons at 9-6. And we in the hunt still. Russell Wilson can make a strong argument for MVP case for this guy this year. 9-6 right now, still trying to get into that wild card if they can. So we're going to get into it, folks. Thanks for tuning in again. This is going to be our last pick'em show of the season. As we get into the playoffs, we will be implementing that into our Tuesday night episodes of Football Fury, 8 p.m. Easterns. Tune in. We always appreciate it. So, Tim, first game. We don't have any Thursday, Friday, Saturday, nothing. It's all straight Sunday games this week. No Monday either. Straight Sunday. Let's do it. Yeah, I know. It's so fast, man. So fast. We got the Carolina Panthers. They are going to be traveling to the Atlanta Falcons. The Panthers, Tim, they had the upper hand back at the start of November when Carolina came back from Atlanta's 10-0 start and ended up winning 20-17 in the end. Atlanta's man coverage scheme, it allows Cam, if no options available, the ability to just scramble out of that pocket, as he had 86 rushing yards and 9 carries and a score in the last meeting. Carolina also does an excellent job of holding Devontae Freeman to only 46 yards on 11 carries, and the next highest total yardage in the rushing department was from Tevin Coleman with 5 freaking yards. This Panthers team, they know the recipe for shutting down this Falcons team, even if they are traveling to Atlanta in the season finale. What also helps the Panthers, they're going to have Greg Olsen back in the lineup. They didn't have him last time these two teams met, Tim. So for me to sit here and think that the Panthers get better and they're still, got a chance, no, they don't. I'm sorry. Panthers 29-20, shutting out the season at 12-4.
I don't know, Sim. I don't know about that. I don't know, Sim. You know what? I will definitely say this now. When it comes down to the Carolina Panthers, you are right. Greg Olsen is their best threat. He is their best threat, which makes Cam Newton even a little bit better. To the Superdome, right? We're going to Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to the home of the team, the Super Bowl last year. Atlanta knows all they need to do is win, and they win. It's a wrap. Seattle will be playing for nothing. Atlanta knows if they win, they get in. The Panthers already have the playoff spot already locked. So I'm pretty sure the Carolina Panthers don't want to risk any further injuries, especially to their quarterback in Cam Newton, okay? Because, listen, like Deion Jones, who love to fly to the quarterback, all right? So you don't want to risk injuries to McCaffrey, especially Greg Olsen, who's been in and out ever since he came back from the injury.
Right.
So with that, I'll say by half, if Atlanta got a nice, comfortable lead, there's, you know what, stop pulling some starters out and putting the backups. I have the Atlanta Falcons winning this game 21-17 at home. It's going to be a party in Georgia.
Hey, I think if they're going to pull that off, they're going to have to pump a lot of artificial noise back into that stadium. Arthur Blank. Cincinnati Bengals are going to be traveling to the Baltimore Ravens this time around. And the last time these two met was all the way in the beautiful beginning of the NFL season. Young and innocent week 1. Seems just like yesterday, Tim. Well, I mean, for Bengals fans, it most likely does feel just like yesterday. Dalton started off the season red hot with 170 yards and 4 INTs. The Ravens back then, they had Terrence West, but never fear. The emergence of Alex Collins, the Irish dancing tippy-toed runner, has been pretty damn good in his place. On the season, Tim, 192 attempts for 895 yards, which is good for a 4.66 average. That's above in my book. So throw along 21 receptions for 169. Sounds good to me. The overall reception in Cincinnati screams for an overhaul. And in my opinion, that goes for the franchise quarterback and the head coach. The Ravens haven't had too much trouble with divisional opponents this year unless they're wearing black and yellow. I don't see this being much different than week 1, Tim. I got the Ravens taking this 27-13. 27-13.
Look at that boy, sucks. Flying. You know what, Shem? I'm like, Danny Woodhead was out week 1. Took him about 6-7 weeks. He came back from IR. Big positive step now because, you know, in my opinion, and I know Baltimore Ravens fans know this as well. The receiving corps ain't that great. It's not. What makes them strong is that defense. We're talking about Terrell Suggs, C.J. Mosley, Tyrese Bowser. I mean, we can go on and on. I know Jimmy Smith is out, but you know what? Veteran Brandon Carr's been holding it pretty good over there in that Ravens secondary. We can't forget the man I idolized because, you know, same beer. You know, I know his a little bit much bigger than mine. But talking about Eric Weddle, holding it down back there. So we got leadership, we got vets, we got speed. Baltimore has the defense to tame the cats. I call the Bengals. Listen, Shim, this may be the last season for Marvin Lewis. There's nothing to play for. There's no jobs. I mean, really, who's there watching this and take over this team, Shim? Nobody. The positive note is the Bengals lose this game and secure the nice low draft pick. I got Baltimore Ravens winning this game 14.
Amen. What do we got here next? We got the Green Bay Packers. They're going to be traveling to Ford Field. Detroit Lions. Sadly enough, both of these NFC North teams have been eliminated from playoff contention, Tim. Let me get my little... This probably could have been an interesting game if Aaron Rodgers never gets hurt. We're probably looking at a potential 9-6 Packers team fighting for a wild card spot along with the Seahawks. But we're not. The Packers looked abysmal this past weekend, and it rests on the shoulders of Brett Hundley. He went 17 for 40 with 130 passing yards. He doesn't have a great running game, but he still has weapons on his wideouts. And the Vikings were able to completely rattle Hundley early and make him uncomfortable. The only thing the Lions are playing for is pride and being able to say they didn't lose to the Rodgerless Packers before closing out the year. It's always nice to end on a high note as well. Green Bay and Detroit are both coming off forgettable weeks, but I look for the home team to close out on a positive note for the fans. Stafford, go out and do your thing, man. Detroit, 23-17. Three, 1, 3.
You know, Shim, you know, when it comes to the Green Bay Packers, hold on, I got Packers fans, stop crying. Listen, Tim and Shin, we both know all you wanted to do is put Aaron Rodgers, you know, playing that one game, being the playoff hunt, but then you lost, you put him in the IR, and then now the team is saying you have to release him because y'all broke the rules. It's okay. It's okay. It's Shin. I'm trying to be nice to the Packers fans here for a minute. I'm going to try to. Sam, the only thing the Packers need to do is just lose this game. I mean, it's nothing to really play for. Devontae Adams, who just signed for a nice big contract, 4 years, $60 million deal, he's not playing. Jordy Nelson on the shelf, you know, get ready for the offseason, for the next season for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, there's not really much to play for. Yeah, is there pride? Of course there's pride. But to the Detroit Lions, Shim, I think I see them want to go out with a bang. Rock that house in Detroit and just go out with a bang. Why? It's Matthew Stafford, it's Golden Tate, it's Marvin Jones. This is a playoff team. They just fell a little bit short. With that being said, I have the Detroit Lions winning this game 17-14. This is going to be a regular good game when nobody gets hurt. They go out into the offseason.
And when they get tackled, they're going to help the opposite team up and say, good tackle, great game. We got the Houston Texans traveling to the Indianapolis Colts. And since the Texans had their bye week in Week 7, they've had a terrible second half stretch, accumulating a 1-8 record with the only win coming against the Cardinals in a 31-21 victory. The only thing Texans fans want to do is fast forward to the April draft and have Deshaun Watson come back to the OTAs timely and healthy. Watson came in late to the season, but with such immediate results that it made outsiders even wonder what type of success the Texans might have had right off the bat if they didn't name Tom Savage the starter in September. And that 1-8 stretch, the Texans fell to the Colts 20-14 in their home game. Now it's time for them to travel to Lucas Oil Stadium, where the Colts have been equally unimpressive as they've had their own run of quarterback games. I believe the Colts end their losing streak with a win at home, Tim, to end out the 2017 campaign. In a little bit of an upset, I got the Colts over the Texans 22-20.
Look at him doing the Humpty Dumpty right there. Bam,
yeah,
bam, bam.
It to him
That's
right
how
now.
you do it. Bam, bam. That's how you do it. Hey, listen, Shim. When it comes to Houston, they have a lot of questions next year. What they gonna do with J.J. Watt? That's been quiet this whole season. It's been quiet. What they gonna do now with J.J. Watt? David Clowney, who's also a free agent. Wow, it's some big question marks for the Houston Texans. We all know Deshaun Watson. This season, I still believe how he played this whole season. The Texans would have been a top team in the playoffs, really. But they felt, injury at the position. It caused them to fall short. It has a lot of question marks going to the offseason. The team is just not right on both sides of the ball. When it comes to the Colts, the only thing in question is Andrew Luck. But Jacoby Brissett has been in his place the whole season, has been playing pretty good. Him and T.Y. Hilton are finally having a good rapport with each other. But you know what, Shim? They do have the 3rd pick overall in the draft. They really do. I mean, people say they don't believe in tanking in, but you can hold back a little bit. The 3rd overall pick. Listen, I think this coach is a playoff team, but I think Houston is just too bad for them. Just for the Colts to want to tank in. They're just that bad. It's going to be hard. So, with that being said, I have the Indianapolis Colts winning this game 17-10.
I like it. Great minds. Buffalo Bills. Those Buffalo Bills, man. They're traveling to South Beach. Miami Dolphins. For Buffalo, to make the playoffs, They'll need to start out by beating Miami in South Beach, and then they'll also be praying for 2 out of the 3 possible teams to lose on Sunday. Buffalo needs to jump 2 teams in order to get to the 6th seed in the AFC. The Ravens and Chargers will both be favored, and the Titans take on a Jaguars team coming off a loss to the 49ers that leaves a bad taste in their mouth. So let's say the Jaguars were able to beat the Tennessee Titans. The Bills would still need an upset in one of the other 2 games. How likely is it that the Bengals top the Ravens and Raiders do the same to the Chargers? We'll get to that. What does suck for the Buffalo Bills players and their fans is they'll be playing at the same time as those other teams, so they won't be able to come out and half-ass their own matchup. They need to give it everything they have in case the stars align for them. And the Dolphins have been playing better ball towards the last quarter of the season, but have had some struggles still, with a loss to the Bills in Week 15 and falling to the Chiefs 29-13 on Christmas Eve in Kansas City. With everything on the line and having their number just a couple weeks ago, I look for a McDermott to plan for a big game on shady shoulders. Tim, I got Buffalo taking this one 28-24.
Listen, I know our 2MW brother Hobbs is watching. We all know Hobbs is watching. We all know Hobbs got a Buffalo Bills jersey, running through the wall, breaking shit. Oh, excuse my friends. They're gonna find me, Shim. See how much I got hyped up?
Yeah.
The Bills fans are hyped up. Shim, I don't even remember the last time another team in the AFC East besides the Patriots going into the playoffs. That's something I didn't recall that. It's been a minute, a long time. Maybe like 10 years. Shim, Buffalo Bills knows this game to have a shot at the wild card spot. It's a clear shot. It's a good shot. I like it. Shim, when I look at the Miami Dolphins under Adam Gase, listen, they have a good team. Jay Cutler has come up strong as of late. They're at home. A lot of big names are hitting the free agency market. The way I look at it is that you got some guys who may want to be careful. You know why? Because they want to make sure that they have a job in the offseason on their new teams in case they get released. Buffalo Bills, they got no care. They're going to hit everything that comes in their way. They are hungry, Shim. Happy New Year's to your Buffalo Bills.
Ooh.
I had the Bills winning this game 28-10. Ooh.
Nice. What do we got next? Chicago Bears. They're going to be traveling to the Minnesota Vikings, excluding the 31 points they allowed the Panthers to put on them. This Vikings defense has been pretty sound overall. You can even throw a Week 11's matchup in there for the discussion as well, when the Vikes held the Rams to 7 points. Skipping ahead to Week 13, where they held the Falcons to 9, and skipping the Panthers game where they smacked them and put some life back into the Vikes. They only allowed the Bengals to score 7 and just shut out the Packers on the eve of Christmas Eve. Now they're going to visit baby Mitch Trubisky, who's still coming into his own, and the only thing threatening about the Bears is their run game and special teams at times. Their passing attack has been too inconsistent to really consider a point of attack with the rookie still trying to get acclimated with NFL life. And when you got the Purple People Eaters at home for the last game of the season, as they try to do the impossible and make the Super Bowl in their own place, I feel this place is going to have a lot of energy rocking for Week 17, Tim. Minnesota, 31. Chicago, 16.
Oh, God. Hey, fellas, have you seen anything on the Bears?
How about you? Not a thing, sir. What about you guys? We ain't found shit.
Shim, is this you're talking about the Bears? We're talking about a franchise who traded all their picks up for what? To go ahead and draft Trubisky. Then they come out and say, we question him as a franchise quarterback. Really? Really? Is that where we going? Shim, I am tired. You know what? Look, Bears fans, take that helmet. I don't want to see it no more, Shim. There's nothing to talk about with the Bears. Minnesota Vikings have the number 2 seed, Shim. There they go. I'm taking the Vikings to win this game 35-7. That's it.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Oh, my God.
That's all you got to say. That's it.
The Bears. Something to discuss. Every year they do this. Now, you know what's going to happen, Shim? They're going to trade up with the Giants, give all their draft picks. Giants go, number 2. You know what? Let me stop. You give me that look, Shim. I'm sorry.
New York Jets, they're going to be going to the New England Patriots. And for being such a young overall team, I credit the Jets for playing tough blue-collar football all year long. They weren't given much of a chance at all from the beginning of the season, but they still came out and played like they were a team with nothing to lose. They gave the Chargers a run for their money this past weekend, who stayed alive in the playoff hunt with a 14-7 win. The Jets also kept an interesting game the last time the Patriots traveled to MetLife in Week 6, where they made the Patriots work for that 24-17 victory, keeping it close. I fully expect this Jets team to come out fired up for the last game of the season for Todd Bowles and for themselves. When you're mathematically out of the playoff contention, what's the next best thing you can do? Play spoiler for those still working for the playoffs, or in this case, that home field advantage. Tom Brady gets to end his 40-year-old quarterback season in the place that has treated him good for so many years. Brady and Gain get another victory to seal their record at 13-3 for the 2017 season and lock up home field. Now the question everyone is wondering, will he be back? Patriots 32, Jets 20. Oh, Bill, don't smile too hard now. You're going to hurt your cheeks.
Oh, Billy. Oh, Billy.
Oh, Bill.
Oh, look at Bill. It's nice smile.
Isn't it? It's nice.
Yeah, he could be
nice.
He could be a nice guy when he wants to be. He will go overboard a little bit too much.
For sure.
Sam, the New York Jets have did something so great, so smart that I'm like, wow, this made me go into a direction I think become that playoff team. Especially, there's, rumors that Brady may be tired if he wins this year. That's a great thing. Davey signed as a head coach for 2 more years, and Davey signed the GM. Wow. There you go. They did not start out the window and start over again. You shouldn't have to, Shim. That defense was ranked top 10. I mean, the safety Jamal Adams out of LSU, my God. And the safety they drafted out of Florida, look at those boys. Oh, I mean, the only problem they have is Muhammad Wilkerson. See whether they're going to trade him or talk to him, whatever. But other than that, Todd Bowles did a very, very good job with that defense. The offense is still a work in progress, but you know what? Rome wasn't built overnight, right? It takes time. So this is a good step where they at. But, Bryce Petty's the quarterback. If this was Josh McCown at quarterback, it would be a little bit more different because the last time the Patriots was at the New York Jets, 2MW was there. And it was a questionable call on that field that, I'm sorry, it was very questionable that caused the Patriots to win that game. Spotgate is what we called it. But
Spotgate?
Spotgate. You know that if they win this game, they get home field throughout the playoff. This is very important. And you know what, Shim? I am with you. I have the New England Patriots winning this game 14 at home.
It's a wrap.
And we may see the debut of Harrison. That's right. 2MW. Remember Harrison, the guy that I said would sign with the Patriots, but everybody else said, nah, he's not gonna sign. Damn.
I'm glad that he's actually going to a place where he'll be respected, It's good to see.
Yes, and appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate it.
Get some playing minutes and actually, get some outcome out of
Yes.
it. Those Washington Redskins are going to be traveling to face those lovely New York Giants. The Redskins have had their fair share of struggles this year, but even so, they found a way to win their past 2 games against the Cardinals and Broncos. And not necessarily powerhouses, but it speaks volumes when the Redskins can find a way to still capitalize on a victory on a team like the Cardinals when the Giants just go out and get blanked by them. So with as many injuries and juggling acts as we've seen with the Redskins offensive line in the past month or two, it's pretty sad that you can still have the argument of whose line is better, Giants or Redskins. The Giants are still looking for a run game, and they'll probably have to wait as early as 2018 to see if they can establish one. And even as a rookie, I put more faith in Samaje Perine than I do with any of the Giants running backs right now. Look for the one banged-up team to beat the other really banged-up team. Yeah, and this one, I got to go. Redskins, 28-17. Those Giants securing that number 2 pick. 2018 draft, baby!
Shem, I'm sorry. Don't get mad at me, all right? I know the Giants. I know the New York Giants. The New York Giants want that number 2 overall. And you know what, Giant fans? It's right now. It's week 17 approaching. It's about to be the off season. I know it's been like, oh God, you can't wait. Now it's here. So all the NFL draft talk will be fun. Who's they in the top 3? It's gonna be nice. We both picked the Colts to win this game, right? So that means the Colts will have no threat on the Giants' pick at number 2, because right now Colts are number 3. So if the Colts win, the Giants can win this game. Hey, see, Shem, there's nothing to talk about with the Redskins. It's just a done deal. The only thing is to talk about is, are they going to retain Kirk Cousins? I predict no. Bye-bye. The coach, Jay Gruden, bye-bye. It's going to be a lot of bye-byes on that team. That's it. When it comes to the New York Giants, they started doing they started the process already. They hired Gettleman from the Carolina Panthers, who originally was with the New York Giants a while back before Reese became the GM. There's rumors circulating that the New York Giants may want to hire Jim Schwartz, who is the defensive coordinator, who was also a former head coach with the Detroit Lions. The Giants right now are starting the process right now, meaning the got a lot to play for. You see, the Giants already fired their guys. Now, when you hire somebody, you hire a boss, that means the staff workers got to show something to make that boss smile. That way, that boss can say, you know what? We're going to keep that guy. Jim, this is going to be the Giants' last home game of the season with Eli Manning and some of these young players in this team. Everybody got a job to play for now that the boss is hired. I had the New York Giants winning this game 17-14 at home. Listen, y'all can win this game, Sham. Y'all can win this game.
We don't need shit from that. We got those Dallas Cowboys traveling to the Philadelphia Eagles. And after a crushing loss to the Seahawks and being eliminated from playoff contention, it'll be interesting to see just how much energy Dallas comes out with. It's already been mentioned that Dallas will give up some playing time to Cooper Rush, although unclear if it'll be, the entire game or like a substitution method. The Eagles already clinched home field, so it's not like the Cowboys can play spoiler to their rivals in the NFC East. These are professional players, and while I don't exactly expect them to come out and play nonchalant with no care, it is intriguing to see how much heart they'll put into a meaningless last game of the regular season after having their sweepstakes ticket ripped up right in front of them. This Eagles team isn't the same with Nick Foles at the helm, despite still getting these wins along the way. The eye test alone shows you that Foles has second guesses in his own throws and still makes some questionable throws where it appears he's trying to do too much and get instant credibility. It's also alarming when it's almost through 4 quarters of play and the declining 2017 Raiders team is tied in the game up until the last minutes. It'll be an interesting ride for Philly come this postseason. But for the closer, I got the Eagles taking it 27-20. And this old guy's still hyped.
When it comes to my Dallas Cowboys, I know Dak Prescott was being the leader that he is, and he stated that he wants to go out with a win. And I expect that from a quarterback, a leader. That's the way you should think. There's a lot of rumors and things like that. going on about the locker room. This is going to be the last time some of these guys will play with each other. So I understand. But you know what, Shim, at the end of the day, when it comes to the Eagles, they may lose this game. But you know what the problem is? If they lose this game, you're going to hear this. See, and that as a fan, I wouldn't be able to. You win the game, they say nah, goodbye because they go into the playoffs. Shim, I'm gonna be honest. I'd rather just lose the game and get a nice draft pick. I gotta sit next to you, Shim, and share that draft love and just want to tank it out. You want the number 2 pick. I want the 15th pick in Jerry World, please. But you know what, Shim? Knowing Gary, because he wants to clap, the inspired talk where the game don't mean anything, Shim. I have the Dallas Cowboys winning this game 17-14 on the road. I predict if Nick Foles get a little bit roughed up, they're going to sit him down and put Nate Sutterfield in. It makes no sense. We're gonna end up winning this game.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. And we got those winless Browns. They're going to be traveling to Heinz Field to face those Pittsburgh Steelers. History will be made at Heinz Field on Sunday. Deshaun Kaiser's confidence is absolutely shot, and the only way I see him being in Cleveland next year as a starting quarterback is if the quarterback they drafted in 2018 happens to get injured and he's still there as the backup. Cleveland will have a lot of firepower loaded up for this year's draft, and that's when the real excitement will come for Cleveland fans, especially since they got a real general manager in John Dorsey and played in the front office now. Freaking no more money ball, Cleveland fans. Come on, let's do this for once. The Steelers took care of a depleted Texans team on Christmas night, and does anyone feel like the Cleveland Browns are better than the Houston Texans? I don't. In that instance, I don't see the Browns avoiding the winless season, and they will be joining those Detroit Lions in the 0-16 Hall of Fame. Pittsburgh 27, Browns 18. Sorry, Cleveland.
Shem, a lot of Steelers fans give me a lot of hate this season. They say, Tim, you're a hater on the Steelers. You really are. You're too hard on them. Yeah, I can understand. I got a New Year's resolution. I'm gonna say it right now. Steelers fans, Brian, Corey, this is from here. Sorry for all the stuff I talked about you. I mean, I really, really am sorry. And I was not fair. I trashed Antonio Brown. I didn't mean to do that. But I'm telling you, next year, I am going to be okay. I am going to say good things about the Steelers. But we in still 2017, and guess what? This Sunday against the Browns. You know why? Because the Browns gonna come in here and they're gonna say we want to ruin their home field advantage in the playoff. That's why they're gonna come in fully loaded and get their first win of the season at the Steelers. I got the Cleveland Browns in 21-20. Oh, that was so nice. Oh, ooh, 2017 still.
Ooh, that hurts right here, Tim. Oh, feels like heartburn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Those New Orleans Saints are going to be traveling to those Tampa Bay Bucks. We can all remember the last time these two met. If you can't, I'll refresh your memory. The Saints defense got into the heads of the Bucks offensive players, including Jameis Winston, so much that they were committing unnecessary late hits and blindsiding opponents and cheap shots, warning suspensions. If you think the Saints team is going to just go in and shake hands and say, sorry about what happened out there last time, let's just go out there and have some wholesome fun. We don't want anyone to get hurt. We're just looking to have a good old game of some pigskin. Then you should probably tune in for some aggressive NFC South football, baby. Saints 35, Bucks 13. Get ratted on, Bucks. Get ratted on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went there. Get ratted on.
I don't know, Shem. Last week, I saw a little something in Jameis Winston. I mean, the guy's he's a leader. Just, the talent level still got to get better. He showed his emotion last week when, I still believe he recovered that football and that fumble, and the refs gave it to the Panthers, and he was just furious. But playoff, it really shows the play. And I like that. That's something you want your leader to be like that, Shem. The New Orleans Saints already in the playoff, nothing to play for. I don't know. They'll get out of a win they'll basically just maybe play somebody else. Right now, they're currently the third seed. The third seed plays the sixth seed going in, which would be Atlanta. I don't know. Maybe if you lose this game, you become the fourth seed and play. Who else is in there? What's in the playoffs? Jesus. Let me research that. Oh, I see the Rams. Shem. I had the Buccaneers winning this game right here. 14 at home. Hey, I know Shimmy's not mad. I'm sorry. He pissed off. I picked the Bucks.
It happens. You can't please everybody.
Give me that look like I ain't talking to you no more.
Those Jacksonville Jaguars, though, they're going to be traveling to the Tennessee Titans. The Titans are doing everything they can to hold on for dear life on their wild card bid right now. They need to be careful as the Bills and Chargers are right on their coattails with the same 8-7 record. I'm not sure it'll matter too much as the Jaguars have a bit of bitterness in their locker room after they let a game slip away to the 49ers and Jimmy G. The Jags need to do a better job at containing their emotions as big penalty yards ultimately led to their demise in the second half of the game. I can't see Doug Marrone letting that transition into another week of undisciplined football. Imagine the crap Tom Coughlin was spewing from his office. The Titans have looked crappy. They have absolutely no run game, and Mariota has been hampered with what seems bad coaching from Malarkey and gang. The Chargers will be rooting for the Jags, too. Show them what it is, Jim. Jaguars, 32. Titans, 20.
Oh, nice. That's the MVP in my opinion. Jalen Ramsey. All right, Shim. Here's my take on this. This is how I feel about the Tennessee Titans. No DeMarco Murray. He is out of this game. That's a big piece. So Derrick Henry will have to carry the load. Now, Derrick Henry is just a big back. He's not really a home run back unless you don't want to tackle him. Mariota's not healthy. Hasn't been all season. I really do think that when it comes to the Tennessee Titans, yeah, they're home. They got to win this game, but I don't think they have enough. Their defense is the defense will be there for the Jackson's offense, led by Blake Ball, who is terrible. He's very terrible with that football. They're gonna have to run the ball, but Jacksonville's defense showed that they can score. They touched that rock. Shim, we both predicted the Buffalo Bills will win. This is how the Bills get into the playoffs, Shim. I have the Jacksonville Jaguars winning this game 21-10 on the road.
All right, and then we got those Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to be going to Mile High facing the Denver Broncos. I won't expect the Broncos to not show up in this contest, as they should have some pride knowing they're the only team to make Alex Smith have a completion percentage under 50 all season. That happened in Week 8 when the Chiefs defeated the Broncos 29-19. But Alex Smith had his worst outing all year, going 14 for 31, which is 45 completion percentage. So now we'll get a chance to see the rocket arm and Patrick Mahomes. This is a rookie quarterback and who I have a huge crush on. Think he can go out and have immediate success given he's got his God-given talents and the weapons that he has around him. While the Chiefs are preparing for the playoffs and Denver is gearing up to find out what they're going to do with the quarterback situation next year, I'd expect this Chiefs team to come out and look like the playoff team against an inferior opponent. I got the Chiefs taking this one 31-20, Tim.
Sim. Yes, I do understand the Chiefs are on the roll. You got Pat Mahomes now, the starting quarterback. He is the rookie. This is the guy you actually was calling about last month that Alex Smith was when he was struggling. This kid, we both fans of Mahomes. We are.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be on the sideline like, damn, this kid looks this good. I'm out of here next year. We know he's looking. When it comes to the Denver Broncos, Shim, okay, you got Lynch starting this game. I don't know. You know what? Let me see something. Miss Sharon Miller from Out of Your League, she just came heads or tails. Shim, she had told me heads. This is a two-sided coin, Shim. Right here.
Okay.
Heads. Sharon caught heads. Miss Sharon, it is tails. I have right now the Denver Broncos winning this game 17-14 at home. Two young quarterbacks playing is who makes the most mistakes.
Interesting. We'll go with the next game, San Fran. 49ers are traveling to face those Los Angeles Rams. Despite being winless against their divisional opponents this season, San Fran has actually kept it remotely close for divisional games, aside from the 24-13 loss to the Seahawks on November 26th. The last time these two teams met was back in the end of September, and Brian Hoyer was still the man delivering the ball for the 49ers. In the 41-39 loss, Hoyer was still able to put up 332 passing yards on an above-average passing defense, and now we'll see a much better quarterback taking the lead with his team on Sunday. Gurley's coming off an impressive-ass game where he single-handedly won most fantasy owners their championship game. No contest. I believe the 49ers can turn around that 2-point deficit and have a better defensive plan in mind to stop Gurley and make Goff do the work. Tim, you know what? I'm in a good mood. I've got an upset here, baby. I got the 49ers taking this one 37-32. Jimmy effing G.
Sam, when it comes to the Rams, they have a playoff spot. They got nothing to play for. They're home. They're gonna sit their players. They really are. But Sam, did you see Jimmy G? I mean, you know what's funny? He was Jimmy Garoppolo for the last 2 years. Now the man got a slang name, Jimmy G. It sounds like a hot pocket. Like can I have some Jimmy G hot pockets? That's what it sounds like. Hey, Mom, can I have a Jimmy G pocket to go to school? It sounds like a hot pocket. Jimmy G hot pocket. And you know what's so funny, Shim? The man became a 49er over a second-round pick given. This guy comes here 4-0. He took the best defense in the league, the Jacksonville Jaguars, to distance. And who do they really have on offense? Nobody but the running game. That's about it. Shim, the Jimmy G fan club. I'm in the Jimmy G fan club. The 49er fan base is in the Jimmy G fan club.
Yeah.
I have an upset as well, Shim. I have the 49ers winning this game 14. Oh, my God. The fan club is here. Jimmy G's.
Oh, Jimmy G's.
Jimmy G. Jimmy G.
It's going to be the new Chuck E. Cheese. Mom, can I go to Jimmy G's? Oh, man. Those Oakland Raiders, soon to be Las Vegas, will be traveling to the Los Angeles Chargers. Las Vegas Raiders will be taking a hard look in the mirror this offseason to see what went wrong after their on-paper roster reflected Super Bowl aspirations. Remember when we talked about Derek Carr coming back too early from his back injury, Tim? I wouldn't be surprised.
Remember?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to find that Carr's been playing through that injury the remainder of the season. It's no excuse for his poor play, and nobody's giving him a pass just because he's Derek Carr. In these past 3 losses, he's amassed 55.5 completion percentage, 522 yards, and a 4-touchdown, 4-interception stat line. So it's very concerning play for a quarterback with a formidable line in front of him and above-average weapons both in the backfield and as receivers. The Chargers, they disappointed me as I called them going undefeated for the rest of the season, but they fell to the Chiefs in Week 15, 30-13. It's the only game in which Rivers has thrown a pick since Week 10, and he's had terrible outings against the Chiefs all year. The Chargers will be home this time to close out the season, and they were able to get the W in Oakland when they last played, in which Rivers had a damn near 70 completion percentage with 268 in a score. So the Chargers lit up too many big runs against the Jets for my liking last week, and I hope they solidify that coming into this week's matchup. But I got these Chargers taking it 26-17.
Wow. Shem, when it comes to the Raiders, yeah, it was a bad season for them. Yes, you are correct. We both have said that Derek Carr is not 100% healthy with that back injury. There's nothing to play for. Mari Cooper's banged up. Beast Mode should be on the sideline eating his Skittles and just, rapping and dancing and carrying on. It's really nothing to say about the Raiders. This is the last game of the season. Just, go out healthy. When it comes to the Chargers, they're still in the playoff race. This means a lot to them. This could be Phillip Rivers' last home game. Been a lot of speculation about being traded and things like that, so who knows? I'm pretty sure he wants to give the Chargers a chance at the playoff and, to do some good things because, hey, listen, they have a hell of an offense with Keenan Allen in the running game. That defense, the secondary is ranked number 2 in the league. Bosa is incredible. Jim, I have the Chargers winning this game 21-10 at home.
I like it. And we got the last game of those Sunday matchups coming up with the Arizona Cardinals. They're traveling to CenturyLink, facing those Seattle Seahawks. When these two clubs met back on November 9th, it appeared Seattle had the recipe for shutting down the Cardinals offensively. They were able to completely stuff Adrian Peterson for 29 yards on 21 carries, and Drew Stanton had to throw 47 times just to get 273 yards, with Larry Fitz eating up 113 of them. The Seahawks displayed the same thing with Dallas last meeting, completely took Zeke out of the element and made Dak throw an attempt to win the game with his arm, which wasn't able to do. So Drew Stanton is going to have the same exact struggles he displayed in the previous matchup, and he will not be able to rely on his 32-year-old running back or his 34-year-old receiver to take the game over in this one. I got your boy, Russell Wilson, MVP candidate this year, and gang, taking this one 31-23. Get it, all Dubs. Get it!
Shim, I want to play something for everybody real quick. This is Earl Thomas.
Earl, there was a team tweeted that you went to the Dallas locker room and basically said, hey, if you guys have a chance, come get me.
Yeah, great win. I feel like we played lights out. Just emotional. I went to the locker room, talked to Dez, and I saw Coach Garrett. And I've always been a Cowboys fan growing up. But the biggest thing that when I say come get me is, I don't literally mean like come get me now. I'm still in the prime of my career. I still want to be here. But when Seattle kicked me to the curb, please, the Cowboys, come get me here. That's the only place I would rather be. If I get kicked to the curb. So that's what I meant by take life too serious. That's just who I am.
Do you have growing indications that the Seahawks may not want you around much longer?
I don't know. But if they don't, please come get me.
Are you friends with Dez? Did you have conversations?
Yeah, we spend a lot of time with each other. We We sponsored by Team Jordan. We take trips together. So, Dak Prescott.
What did you want to say to Dez afterwards?
I just told him good game. And, you know, I love him. That's it.
What was your conversation with Coach Garrett?
What you heard?
What did he say back? Did he have a response?
No, he just kind of put his head down. You know, they going through, you know, a loss. So everybody kind of in their own little zone. So that's it.
Are you happy here?
Yes, I'm happy here. You know, I love being here. You know, this is where I started.
Shem. See, I just play back there.
A lot.
That's the last time we've ever seen a player of an opposing team running to the locker room to the other team to go tell their head coach, please save me. Take me. You want me, I want you. Yeah. It was some diddle. It was some love going on, Shem. I had already said the Atlanta Falcons are going to win this game. If they win the game, Seattle got nothing to play for at 4 o'clock against the Cardinals. Shem, this is going on with the Seattle Seahawks. The Cowboys didn't lose. They beat themselves last week on the Cowboys' dumb mistakes. Shem, this team is not intact together. Russ is going bye-bye after this game. Shem, Arizona Cardinals with Drew Stanton. There's nothing to play for, really. This whole team is about to blow up in the offseason, has been told. Bruce Arians might not be the Cardinals head coach next year. So you know what? Was going to this game and come out healthy into the offseason. If for some reason Atlanta loses this game as you predicted, they got something to play for. I predict they won't. Well, goodbye. I'm done. With that being said, because they're home, I have Seattle winning this game 28-14. Hey, Earl Thomas, we do have a spot for you in that secondary. Yes, we do. We got a spot for you.
That pretty much wraps it up for us, Timmy. That's week 17 in the books, man. That pretty much the 2017 regular season in the books, and it went by fast. I mean, it's a lot of work, you know, when we do our research and whatnot. But I mean, in the end, it's a lot of fun, and it's good to look back and see how much you did throughout the year. And what is this, our 4th year together doing this? 3rd year?
Yeah, 4th year. And you know what? I also want to thank the people, you know, outside 2MW who have supported us with their comments and questions, as well as 2MW itself. You know, coming from my CEO, Trisha Andrews, she's done a great job, you know, excellent. And it just we both feel appreciated with this.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, folks, to follow us for the playoff coverage and then en route to the Super Bowl, tune in Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. We have Football Fury. We'll be implementing the analysis of that and the end of these episodes. And we should have a couple special guests, maybe, you know, maybe Fox, maybe another guy, and we'll get their intake too as well. So appreciate you tuning in. Everybody have a great new year, and we'll see you folks in 2018. Signing out.